All right, you guys, we're back with Leo. We're gonna do a little off-leash obedience and, well, off-leash healing for the most part. And we're gonna teach the dog how to go in between our legs and walk in between our legs and heel at our side. And we'll throw in some sit stays and down stays in there. So let me just call him to me. Leo, come. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Very nice, buddy. Heel. All right. Beautiful. So Leo, he's been here for about, gosh, going on a month and a half now. Beautiful. Very nice. So it's very common for the dog to want to cheat the reward by coming across, because this is where the reward comes from all the time. So I'm just going to reset him. Let's go back. Heel. Right there. And I'll use the leash to block him a little bit, just because we don't want the dog to learn that when we stop and sit, you can cheat over for the reward. So this is something dog trainers will work a lot on in regards to just healing positions and things like that. Yes. Beautiful. So even though we're working on off-leash stuff, we still have to occasionally grab the leash to help the dog when they make the mistakes. Down. Yes. Beautiful. Now the camera's set up to stay with the dog. I'm going to walk across the yard a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to kick off my sandals. I like training the dogs barefooted out here. I know I'm weird, please forgive me. But yeah, I really like to kind of just be as comfortable as I can when I'm training the dogs. We also have like the projector for the Christmas lights and the cord for the power here. So, you know, we're working around those things. We've got barking dogs in this yard and across the street. One of them did get his attention while we were healing. So I like to train the dogs out in the front yard whenever the obedience is what I would consider to be good enough, right? Down, down. Over here. Come on. So I'm gonna bring him back down. Nope. And I'm just gonna get him back to where he was supposed to be. I got a little long-winded with the commentating. He thought I was calling him. So we're not gonna punish him for that. But since he's telling me that's what he wants to do, I'm gonna go ahead and ask him to do it. Leo, come. Yes, beautiful. I'll reward him for the come, and then I'm gonna ask him to go in between my legs. Ah, hold on, buddy. You can't go that way. Ready? Yes. Beautiful. Up here, Bubba. Yes, good. Now, I'm just gonna hold on to the leash here because this is kind of new for us. We haven't done a lot of this, and we're just gonna walk. This is purely just for fun. And the only reason why I hold on to the leash here is so that he doesn't back out in between my legs, because he's shown me a tendency to do that. And I don't want him to leave this spot. Yes, good. And he sits when we come to the stop. Beautiful. And then for the healing, I'll just swing my leg around. And I'll hold on to this for a second until we get into the act of being in motion, and then I'll let it go. Heel. Get him a little bit closer. We like to reach in and grab the leash if the dog's drifting too far from us. That's its main goal. Up here, hey. So, we've seen this from him a little bit. Come here, Leo. We've seen that from him a little bit. And so we just need to work on walking by the front door a little bit more. And when I get into that particular area, I'll grab the leash. So I basically want the dog to be touching me, and making contact with me. And if he's not, I'll reach in and grab the leash just to help him be correct. Good. Now this is where I lost him a moment ago. And if he drifts at all, I'll just kind of reach in and grab the collar. Yes, beautiful. Much better. So as you can see, the dog is not perfect. He's going to make mistakes. How we handle those mistakes, I think, is what matters the most. Heel. Beautiful. Down. Yes, very nice. We have not taught this dog a down out of motion. I just had a little muscle memory from some competitive stuff I used to do a long time ago. But anyways, I'm gonna leave him there. I'm gonna call him across the yard. Leo, come. Yes, good. So I'm gonna reward the sit right here, and then I'm gonna give him the motion to go around behind my legs. Yes, very nice. Now he's super excitable. He's a little excited, so a lot of times I like to, if the dog's like too wound up right here, I'll just kind of massage him a little bit, nice and easy. You see how he's like frolicking with his head? So I want to keep him calm right here. I don't want him to get all wound up and like try to jump or, you know, back out. Easy, easy. So I use the leash to kind of keep him here, and then I'll just massage him a little bit. And then when I'm done, I'll just switch hands here with the leash. Well, typically I'd step over the dog, but he got up right there. That's okay. Heel. We'll just go into motion. He was having as I was slowing down, he was starting to keep moving right there. And so I knew that was going to happen. So I reached in to grab the leash just to help him stay next to me and not drift out too far ahead as I was stopping. So I'm going to wait for him to, no, sit. So that's a genuine mistake. The nose took over the brain, and I needed to help him be correct there, okay? So this stuff will happen in your training process. What's important to understand is, how do you troubleshoot these things? How do you help the dog when you can see that the dog is starting to maybe forget about what they're supposed to be doing, or the nose just takes over the brain and the dog is like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, whatever I'm gonna do over here, right? So troubleshooting, this is a part of the training process, okay? So I'm just gonna call him in between my legs. Let's go. Yes, good. Just for fun. This is not what the owners wanted. I'm just doing this for shits and giggles. Heel. Whee! Listen, you can't take life too seriously all the time, right? We'll stop here. Yes, good. Very nice. Bring my leg back over, go back into heeling. Heel. Hold on to the leash for just a smidget. I want to make sure that he's hugging me before I let the tab go. That's the wrong collar to be grabbing. I can see he's thinking of, he was pushing across the front of me to maybe go to the door, so I got to grab the leash right here. When I feel like he's good, I'll let it go. Let's go, bud. Come on. Right there. See, I want the dog connected to me in the heeling. It's really important. If I feel like he's drifting or lagging behind or pushing too far ahead, it's all about being right here in the pocket, okay? Yes. Beautiful. Excellent. I'm going to leave him in the sit. We'll do the sit stay for the moment. But what's really important to understand is even dog trainers, like the dogs will mess up, you know. It really is about how you handle the mistakes. Occasionally the dogs need the corrections depending on how far into your training process you are. Other times you just need to like ask him to do it again and try again and get more success. Yes. Perfect. And go between my, I'm going to start with them closed, and then as he goes around, I'm going to open it up. Because what was happening is I was starting to kind of ask him to go around with my legs open already. And what he started to do here recently is go this way in between my legs instead of going around and back. So the way we fix that, let's go, is we step out as he's coming around. You see, he's put his whole mouth over my hand. The dog's got a ginormous mouth. Step over, heel. Back into heeling. Let go of the tab when we feel he's doing well. If he drifts too far or I lose contact, if he's not in that perfect position, I gotta use the leash to guide him back to the right spot. Now we gotta watch the door. He's looking that way. Yes, good, better, right? So remember, he broke heeling position and ran for the door. He thought training was done. He wanted to go inside and have a good time. And so it's about coming back in this area and just doing it over a few times and getting success. So the dog learns that when you get in within a vicinity of the door, we're not done, right? Because you see this a lot with like, when we walk our dogs and we're coming home and we're coming up the driveway, we'll drop the leash and the dog will run to the door ahead of us, right? This is kind of the same thing, just in a different type of circumstance. And so in the context of walking up the driveway and dropping, you know, you're out on a 3-mile walk, you come home, you get to the driveway, you drop the leash, the dog trots ahead, right? And then they're waiting for you at the door. For that particular circumstance, it's not a problem. But in the context of obedience training, it is. We don't want the dog doing that. And so we gotta help him be correct. And we do that by just trying again and getting success and rewarding the dog for those things. Yes. Down. Yes. Beautiful. Now the other thing is we haven't really given this thing a name. I'd probably call it finish. However, I'm gonna leave that open to the owner. I actually have just been learning them without using any words. But if I was to use a word, I would probably use finish. But in the context of this dog, I haven't been using any words. I'm gonna leave it up to the owner to decide. That is the fun of dog training sometimes. It doesn't have to be your word. Sometimes the owners can be a part of the creativity process. Leo? Yes, good. But typically in competitive dog training, we call this a finish. And a lot of times we don't have the dogs come in between our legs. We have the dog come all the way around over here, right? Heel. I'm gonna hold on to the leash right here because he's starting to drift a little bit, like I lost contact with him. Let's go. You see, even right there, he thinks maybe we're going for a walk. There we go. I want that contact right there. So remember, there's certain areas of the yard that conflict with training, which is walking towards the driveway or walking towards the front door. Good. But for me, I want the contact. I want to feel the dog. If I can't feel the dog, then I don't know where he is, right? Good job, buddy. Very nice, Jude. Yes. See, he stops. He doesn't drift around to the reward side. It's beautiful. Now this is pet training, it's not competition training, right? Like if this was a competitive dog and I was thinking about obedience or a biting sport like Schutzhund or French ring or something like that, I'd be changing up how I reward the dog. I'd be rewarding the dog over here and up here and with the left hand, with the right hand, and all of these crazy places, so we don't create, the dog cheating in anticipation for the reward, right? So it's a little bit different of a process for a pet dog for me than it is a competitive dog. But anyways, he's doing pretty well. Down. We'll make it my idea right there. Yes. Perfect. And then we'll go back over here just so the dog doesn't trip over the power cables for the projectors. Come. Yes. Perfect. Reward him. Finish. Yeah. See, that's the thing about, like, we don't want to confuse the dog, right? So I tried to get the dog to go around with my legs open, but I mentioned he's been wanting to shoot straight in instead of going around, and he just demonstrated what I was talking about a moment ago in that regard. Kill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk close to the door. Right here, he's drifting. This way, Leo. Let's go. Good. I'm going to motivate him to kind of catch up because I was turning away from him. Leo, this way. Beautiful. That's what we want to see right there. Right? So these are the things we got to work on. Come on, bud. Beautiful. Those are the things you have to work on. Now remember, the dog, we want contact with the dog, but if he's too far ahead, it makes it hard to turn into him, right? So now I still have to lean into the collar just a little bit to make the room that I need to make these left-handed turns. And when I feel like the dog is in a better position, I can let the leash go, okay? Beautiful. Let's go this way. Let's go, Leo. Come on, bud. There we go. Yes. So there's levels to like the off-leash work, right? Yes. Beautiful. Down. I could see he wanted to go there. Yes. So I just made it my idea and I said it real quick. Little tricks of the trade, okay? Yo, come. Yes. Beautiful. Finish. Yes. Beautiful. Good. Now, just get a hold of the leash wherever it is. Okay. And now just for fun, I'm going to walk forward. Let's go. This is just for fun. This is not really for the owner. This is for me, actually. Because now we're military dog, military shepherd. Pew, 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 pew. Look, you see, he thinks I'm playing, which I am. Let's go this way, buddy. And so I'll still, this is like not part of his training, so I'm still technically holding on to the leash, all right? We've abandoned the off-leash healing for this particular exercise, and we're holding on to the tab still. Down. Yes. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to take Leo in the house and walk him past the pit bull and a poodle. So let's see that. I got to just dismount the gimbal real quick. All right, I'm going to take manual control of the camera. Let's go. Beautiful. There we go. Let's go, buddy. There's the poodle. the pit bull and a German shepherd. And the wife goes, what the heck are you doing? Freaking me out. Let's go. Over here. This way, goofball. Back outside. Outside. Good. We're getting into play behavior. Outside, outside, outside. Whee! There we go. All right.